What if the only thing standing between the life you want and the life you have is you? Not your past, not your parents, not your circumstances. You let that sit for a second, because you've been telling yourself a story that you're not ready, that you're not smart enough, strong enough, talented enough, that someone else is better suited, that maybe you're too late, or maybe you missed your shot. But deep down, there's a quiet voice that keeps asking, what if I could? And here's the uncomfortable truth. You absolutely could. You just haven't decided to. Every day, people with less talent, less experience, and more obstacles are going out there and making things happen. Why? Because they stopped asking for permission. They stopped overthinking. They stopped waiting for a sign from the universe and chose to become the sign themselves. So now I'll ask you, why not you? Why not the one who has been through the storm and came out still breathing? Why not the one who knows what struggle feels like and still shows up? Why not the one who refuses to quit even when no one's clapping? See, you've been giving your power away, shrinking, playing small, waiting for someone to come save you or show you the way. But what if you're the one you've been waiting for? This isn't about motivation, it's about activation. You already know what you need to do, you're just afraid to do it. And that's okay. Fear means you're close to something real. Fear means you care. But fear is not a stop sign, it's a signal. Now ask yourself this. If not now, then when? And if not you, then who? Let's talk. You've been taught to wait since childhood. You've been conditioned to raise your hand, ask nicely, follow the rules, stay in line, and wait for someone else to say, go ahead. And maybe that served a purpose back then. Maybe it kept you safe, kept you out of trouble, made you feel like you were doing the right thing. But now it's killing your potential. You're still waiting for permission to speak up, to start, to lead, to chase what you really want. You're waiting for someone to tap you on the shoulder and say, you're good enough, you're ready, you have what it takes. But what if no one ever does? What if no one ever chooses you? Will you keep sitting in the background of your own life, justifying your inaction by blaming the lack of validation from others? Or will you finally understand that the permission you're waiting for is yours to give? The truth is, the world isn't built for the ones who wait. It's built by the ones who dare. The ones who step forward even when their hands are shaking, the ones who speak up even when their voices tremble. The ones who apply, pitch, launch, write, build, try before they feel ready. Because here's the secret. No one ever feels fully ready. Readiness is a myth sold to you by fear. You don't get ready. You get in the ring and become ready by doing the work. You're watching people live out dreams you've had in your heart for years. You're seeing others succeed at things you've thought about 100 times. You tell yourself they had more connections, more confidence, more luck. But maybe, just maybe, they simply stopped waiting. They started moving. They stopped obsessing over what if and started living in why not. Waiting for permission is the fastest way to become invisible. It puts your power into someone else's hands. It makes your success dependent on someone else's approval. And that is the most dangerous place to live, where your value, your voice, your vision relies on the comfort of someone else. That's not safety. That's bondage. You have an idea? Act on it. You have a dream? Chase it. You feel a pull to do something, create something, build something? Start. You don't need a title to lead. You don't need applause to keep going. You don't need to be liked, followed, endorsed, or accepted to be impactful. What you need is courage. And courage isn't loud. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It whispers, start now. Think about all the people out there doing incredible things. Many of them were told not to. Many were laughed at, underestimated, ignored, but they didn't ask for permission to be who they are. They chose it, they owned it, and they moved through the resistance anyway. So what about you? Are you still living your life like a guest in someone else's house? Are you waiting for someone to open the door, pull out a chair, and tell you it's okay to take up space? You weren't made to sit quietly in the corner. You weren't made to shrink. You weren't made to be passive. You were made to show up fully, boldly, unapologetically. That business idea you've been thinking about for 2 years, start. That book you keep talking about writing. Open your laptop and type. That conversation you know you need to have. Say the words that change you keep saying you'll make when the time is right. There is no right time. You are not too late. You are not too inexperienced. You are not too old, too young, too flawed, too anything. You are capable. Right now, as you are. But potential means nothing without action. Knowledge means nothing without movement. And dreams mean nothing without the courage to pursue them. Let them doubt you. Let them wonder why you're doing it. Let them talk. While they're stuck watching and waiting, you'll be out there building, evolving, becoming, because you chose to stop waiting. The people who change the game, they don't wait for a seat at the table. They build their own table. They don't wait for the right mood, the right energy, or the right crowd. They show up and take ownership. And the most powerful part, most of them didn't feel confident when they started, but by choosing to move anyway, they grew into the confidence they needed. So from this moment on, you decide no more playing small, no more asking for permission to be powerful, no more shrinking your voice to make others comfortable, no more pausing your progress while you wait to feel ready. Give yourself the green light. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. If you've been waiting for someone to tell you to go, and if you've been wondering whether you're the one who's meant to do something great, why not you? Everyone has a story. Everyone carries pain, disappointment, and moments they wish they could erase. But what separates people who rise from those who stay stuck isn't how hard life hit them. It's what they did after they got knocked down. The truth is, your struggles are not a sign to stop. They are not proof that you're cursed, broken, or unlucky. They are proof that you're in the process. Somewhere along the line, you were made to believe that struggle means you're doing something wrong, that if it's hard, it's not meant for you, that if you fail, you should walk away. But nothing could be further from the truth. Struggle doesn't disqualify you. It refines you. It sharpens your mind, strengthens your spirit, and prepares you for what's coming next. Look around at the people you admire, the ones who inspire you, who lead, who influence, who break barriers. Every one of them has struggled. Every one of them has fallen, doubted themselves, been rejected, failed in silence. They just didn't stop. They didn't let that dark season convince them it would last forever. They didn't let pain become their identity, and you shouldn't either. What you went through was real. That pain, it wasn't in your head. The betrayal, the abandonment, the failure, the heartbreak, the breakdown, it happened. But here you are, still breathing, still standing. Maybe you don't even realize how strong you've become because you're too busy focusing on how broken you felt. But strength doesn't show up when everything is perfect. Strength is built when everything falls apart and you keep going anyway. That's why your struggle doesn't define your limit. It defines your capacity. The hard truth is most people give up too soon. They face resistance and they think it's a sign to quit. They fall down and assume they weren't meant to rise. But resistance is often confirmation that you're moving in the right direction. Growth never feels comfortable. Expansion never feels easy. What you're calling a wall might actually be a test to see if you want it bad enough. Think about it. If you quit every time it gets hard, how far do you think you'll get? If you back down at the first sign of discomfort, how will you ever evolve into the version of yourself you dream about becoming? You've already survived 100% of your hardest days. Let that sink in. You thought the pain would break you, but here you are, not only alive, but stronger, wiser, more aware. Maybe you walk a little slower now. Maybe you trust less. Maybe you carry some scars, but you're still here. And that means you still have more left to do, more to become, more to give. Pain is not your prison. It's your proving ground. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They're proof that you fought through something most people would have crumbled under. So why are you still letting your past make you doubt your future? Why are you still walking around like a victim when you survived what was meant to destroy you? You get to decide how your story goes from here. You get to choose whether the struggle becomes a stopping point or a stepping stone. You can either sit in it and replay the worst moments over and over, or you can rise with it, fuel your fire with it, and say, this won't be the end of me. You want to build something great? Struggle will be part of the journey. You want to find real love, true peace, authentic success? It will cost you something. Comfort is cheap. Growth is expensive, and that price is paid through hardship, sacrifice, and choosing to move forward even when you don't feel like it. Stop disqualifying yourself because your life hasn't been perfect. Some of the most powerful people are those who've walked through the fire, who've cried behind closed doors, who've failed, been humiliated, and still chose to show up the next day. You don't become resilient by reading a book or watching a video. You become resilient by surviving something that should have taken you out and getting up anyway. You become unshakable when you stop seeing struggle as a threat and start seeing it as training. Every wound can carry wisdom. Every setback can be a setup. Every failure can be the fuel you need. But only if you stop using struggle as an excuse to quit and start using it as a reason to keep going. There will be days when it feels impossible. You'll want to shut down. You'll question if it's even worth it. But those are the moments that count the most. When no one's watching, when nothing is working, when it's just you versus your doubt. So the next time you feel like giving up, I want you to remember this. Struggle doesn't mean stop. It means you're in it. It means you're fighting for something. It means you haven't given up yet. And if you haven't given up, you're still in the game. So don't stop now. Don't let the pain that tried to break you become the reason you break yourself. You've come too far. You've grown too much. You've survived too many storms to turn around now. You've got more power than you realize. You've got more strength than you know. And no matter what's behind you, your future still belongs to you. Why not you? You say you want change. You say you want something different, a better life, a stronger mindset, more peace, more confidence, more purpose. You want the job, the relationship, the body, the freedom, the respect. But here's the part nobody tells you. You don't get those things by staying the same. You don't get different results with the same thoughts, the same habits, the same mindset, the same energy. If you want something different, you have to become someone different. That's the price. That's the trade, and most people don't want to hear it because change is uncomfortable. It means killing off the version of you that got you here. The version that's too scared to speak up, too lazy to be consistent, too hurt to trust again, too tired to keep pushing. It means letting go of who you were, even if that version of you has kept you safe for years. But you have to ask yourself, are you trying to stay safe or are you trying to evolve? Because the life you say you want, it requires a version of you that doesn't exist yet. You're going to have to rewire your mind, break your own patterns, challenge the beliefs that have been passed down to you or formed through pain. And that doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen by wishing for it. It happens when you truly decide that you're done with the version of you that's settling. You can't keep thinking like a victim and expect to live like a warrior. You can't keep procrastinating and expect to build anything that lasts. You can't keep playing small and expect big results. Life doesn't reward who you want to be. It rewards who you choose to become. The you who sleeps in every day isn't going to build discipline. The you who avoids confrontation isn't going to set boundaries. The you who overthinks every move isn't going to create impact. The you who always needs someone to validate you isn't going to walk in power. You have to become someone who chooses differently, not once, not when it's easy, but every single day. You have to train yourself to act based on who you want to become, not how you feel in the moment. Because feelings are temporary, but the cost of staying stuck is permanent. And this isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming someone you really are, but haven't fully stepped into yet. That version of you is already inside. It's not about inventing them, it's about unleashing them. But it's going to require sacrifice. You'll have to give up comfort. You'll have to unlearn things you thought were true. You'll have to lose the approval of people who liked the old you better, the one who didn't challenge anything, didn't change anything, didn't threaten their own comfort zones. And yes, it'll be lonely at times. Growth is isolating because you're walking away from the familiar. You're saying no to old habits, old circles, old patterns. You're building a new identity, one decision at a time. But that's what becoming someone different is all about. You're no longer available for the excuses. You're no longer emotionally attached to the version of yourself that needs pity to feel worthy. You don't need pity. You need progress. And that comes from doing the hard things. The early mornings, The hard conversations, the new disciplines, the moments where no one claps for you, but you clap for yourself. It comes from being honest with yourself when no one else is watching. It comes from asking every single day, what would the strongest version of me do right now? And then doing that, even if it's inconvenient, even if it scares you, even if you fail, because failure is part of the transformation. You will stumble, you will mess up, you will question if it's working. But growth doesn't come from perfection. It comes from persistence, from showing up when it's hard, from proving to yourself that you can be consistent, even when life isn't fair, even when your emotions are all over the place. That's how transformation happens, not in some magical moment, but in the quiet decisions you make daily. The moments you choose to get uncomfortable, the moments you don't run from the work, the moments you hold yourself accountable, not because someone else told you to, but because you refuse to stay where you are. Look at your life right now. Everything in it, your habits, your results, your relationships, it's a mirror of who you've been. If you want something different, the mirror has to reflect someone different. That's not cruel, that's power. That means you are not stuck. You are not helpless. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are a decision away from becoming someone new. So the next time you catch yourself saying, I wish I had that life, I wish I had that discipline, I wish I had that confidence, remind yourself, you don't get it by wishing. You become it by acting. Start becoming the person who doesn't quit. Start becoming the person who follows through. Start becoming the person who leads, even when no one follows. Start becoming the person you admire. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs the real you, the elevated, refined, powerful version of you that shows up with purpose. But that version isn't created by chance. It's built day by day, choice by choice. So stop asking why life hasn't changed yet. Start asking who you're becoming. And if you really want something different, why not become someone who makes that life inevitable? At some point, you have to face the reality that no one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your partner, not your boss, not your friends, not some magical mentor, and definitely not the perfect timing you've been waiting for. This isn't to make you feel hopeless. This is to hand your power back to you. Because as long as you're waiting for someone else to come fix your life, you'll keep giving them control over your future. It's a hard truth, but one you need to hear. If you're stuck, it's not because you're cursed. It's because you're waiting. Waiting for someone to tell you what to do. Waiting for someone to hold your hand. Waiting for someone to give you permission to move forward, to believe in yourself, to act like your life matters. You keep hoping for rescue, but what you really need is a reality check. You have everything it takes right now to move forward. It doesn't matter if you're scared. It doesn't matter if you don't feel ready. It doesn't even matter if you failed before. What matters is what you choose to do with the truth, that you're responsible for where you are, and you're responsible for where you go next. That job you hate. No one's going to walk in and offer you your dream position. You have to put yourself out there, learn the skills, take the risks, and go after it. That toxic relationship you're stuck in, no one's going to drag you out. You have to choose your peace over your comfort. That self-doubt that's been eating at you for years, no one's going to magically heal it. You have to challenge it every day until it no longer controls you. It's easier to blame, easier to point at your past, your environment, your upbringing. And yes, maybe you were dealt a difficult hand. Maybe you've been through hell. Maybe you weren't given the tools others had, but doesn't change the fact that this life is yours to build. And no one is going to build it for you. No one is going to chase your dreams for you. No one is going to fight your battles for you. No one is going to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. So stop waiting. Stop sitting around hoping someone sees your potential and pushes you forward. That's not how this works. If you want something more, you have to create it. If you want peace, confidence, discipline, success, you have to get up, look in the mirror, and say, let's go. You want freedom? Earn it. You want respect? Show up consistently. You want peace? Set the boundaries. Every day you have a choice. Stay stuck or step up. Blame others or take ownership. Complain or create. Hide or rise. And that choice will either pull you closer to the life you want or bury you deeper in the one you're tolerating. You don't need to be saved. You need to activate the part of you that's been asleep for too long, the part of you that knows you were made for more, the part of you that has been quieted by fear, by insecurity, by what ifs. That part of you is still in there waiting for you to take the first step. You keep thinking someone else is going to come along and make you brave. But bravery isn't handed to you. It's built by action. It's built every time you do the hard thing, the uncomfortable thing, the thing that scares you but also sets you free. You earn your own rescue by deciding you're done with waiting. You may not be where you want to be yet. That's fine, but don't lie to yourself and say it's because of someone else. You're not stuck because the world is unfair. Even if it is, you're stuck because you've been waiting for a rescue instead of becoming your own rescue. If you want a better life, you have to build it. No one is going to hand it to you. If you want confidence, you have to do the things that scare you until fear no longer owns you. If you want peace, you have to remove the chaos you've been tolerating. If you want purpose, you have to stop numbing yourself and start showing up with intention. There's nothing wrong with needing help, but help doesn't replace action. Encouragement is great. Support is powerful, but at the end of the day, it still comes down to what you do. No mentor, no coach, no relationship can save you from the work you refuse to do. So from this moment on, stop looking for rescue. Start looking inward. Start asking the real questions. What am I avoiding? What am I waiting for? What story am I telling myself that's keeping me from rising? And most importantly, who could I become if I stopped waiting and started acting? Because that's the difference between the people who stay stuck and the people who rise. One group keeps hoping someone will change their life, and the other group realizes they are the change. And if they can do it, why not you? There's something inside of you that the world has never seen before. A voice, a perspective, a story, a strength, something so specific, so unique, so deeply personal that no one else on this planet could ever duplicate it. And yet, so many people die with that gift still locked inside them. Not because they didn't have talent, not because they didn't have potential, but because they doubted themselves, because they waited too long, because they convinced themselves someone else could do it better. But no one can do you better than you. You may think the world doesn't need what you have, that there are already too many people out there doing the thing you dream about doing, that your voice would just get lost in the noise. But that's a lie. The truth is, someone out there needs you, your words, your courage, your energy, your exact way of showing up. Not a perfect version, not a flawless copy, just the real, raw, powerful you. But how will they ever find you if you keep hiding? We are constantly told to stay humble, to not be too much, to not draw too much attention. So you shrink, you lower your voice, you play it safe, you think being quiet is being respectful, you think staying small makes you easier to love. But all it really does is rob the world of what you were meant to give. You weren't created to live in the shadows. You weren't put on this earth just to survive, pay bills, and die. You were given a gift, something deeply embedded in your soul. It could be the way you speak, the way you lead, the way you love, the way you listen, the way you create. It doesn't have to be loud, it doesn't have to be famous, but it does have to be true. It has to be you. And the cost of hiding that gift, it's not just your unfulfilled life, it's what the world misses out on because you never showed up. There's a person out there who is struggling, lost, hurting, and they don't need a celebrity or a genius or a millionaire. They just need you, your realness, your honesty, your courage to show them what it looks like to rise, even when it's hard. That's the thing about your gift. It doesn't have to impress millions. It just has to impact one. And if it impacts one, it can impact another, and then another. And before you know it, your courage becomes a ripple. Your authenticity becomes a light. And someone somewhere finally decides not to give up because you chose to speak, to show up, to live fully. But you've been quiet for too long. You've been doubting yourself for too long. You've been comparing yourself to people who aren't even walking the same path as you. And it's time to stop. It's time to own what you carry. It's time to stop editing your voice to fit someone else's comfort level. The world doesn't need another imitation. It doesn't need another version of someone who's already out there. It needs you. The version of you that has lived, fallen, gotten back up. The version of you that's been through things and still has love to give. The version of you that doubts sometimes, but still finds the strength to keep going. There are people who will only heal when they hear your story. People who will only glow when they watch your journey. People who will only believe in themselves because they saw you believe in yourself first. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be perfect. But you do need to be real. Stop asking if you're good enough. Stop waiting for a moment where you finally feel ready. Ready is a myth. Confidence comes after action, not before it. And if you're waiting for some external sign that it's time to share your gift, live your truth, pursue your calling, this is it. This is your sign, right here, right now. You were given your struggles for a reason. You were given your passions for a reason. You were given your personality, your vision, your experiences for a reason. They are not accidents. They are not flaws. They are fingerprints, proof that your presence here matters more than you realize. So what are you waiting for? You don't have to change the entire world, but you do have to stop pretending your life doesn't matter. You have to stop walking through your days like you're invisible. You have to stop apologizing for being the person you were designed to become. The world is broken in many places. People are hurting. People are looking for hope, truth, light. And sometimes the very thing that can change a life doesn't come from a politician or a book or a headline. It comes from a human being showing up fully as themselves, unfiltered, undeniable, unapologetic. So what if your story could be the key that unlocks someone else's cage? What if your bravery gave someone permission to stop hiding? What if you being you fully, boldly, was the very thing someone else needed to believe that they could too? The world is waiting, not for someone perfect, not for someone louder, not for someone with a bigger following or more degrees or better timing. It's waiting for you. So stop hiding your gift. Stop silencing your voice. Stop doubting your worth. And if you're still wondering, still asking, still hesitating, why not you? You've waited long enough. You've questioned yourself long enough. You've looked around, compared, hesitated, and hoped someone else would give you the green light. But this is the moment where that ends. Because everything you've heard up until now isn't just motivation, it's a wake-up call. The world doesn't change when someone more talented shows up. It changes when someone decides they're done shrinking, done waiting, done playing small. And that decision, that shift is yours to make, right here, right now. You don't need to be saved. You don't need more approval. You need clarity, courage, and commitment. Clarity about who you are, courage to own it, and commitment to live it out unapologetically. This life will not hand you what you want. It will hand you opportunity wrapped in discomfort, wrapped in challenge, wrapped in moments that test whether you're serious or just interested. And if you're serious, you'll stop making excuses. You'll stop needing perfect conditions. You'll stop asking, can I? And start declaring, watch me. Because the truth is simple. You were born to do hard things. You were built to rise. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand up, speak up, and lead with everything inside of you. So the next time fear tries to whisper, not you, you answer back with strength, why not me? And then go prove it. This is your time. So show up fully. The world is waiting.